Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So all this week, we're kind of having an unofficial Eldritch Moon series of Instant Deck Techs, where we're looking at some of the sweet new cards and where they're showing up on the tournament scene. So today, we actually get to head to Modern to check out a deck that is playing one of the most powerful new cards from Eldritch Moon in Spell Queller. This is 5-color Aggro that this past weekend took Jack Rumpf to a top 8 finish at the SCG Classic in Columbus, so congrats to Jack on his finish with the deck. A quick reminder before we break down 5-color Aggro, if you enjoy this deck and want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So 5-color Aggro is a crazy deck. You might not know that from this slide featuring Birds of Paradise and Noble Hierarch, but these cards are actually super important because this deck has some ridiculously crazy mana costs. So Birds of Paradise and Noble Hierarch are really essential because they let the deck make the colors of mana they need to cast their stuff. However, they also have another purpose. The deck has a ton of powerful 3-drops, so with the birds and with the Noble Hierarch, you get to start casting these cards on turn 2 instead of turn 3. So Anafenza, just a massive body, can pump up something else when it's attacking. Also synergizes with Kitchen Finks. You can add the counter to get rid of the -1 counter from Persist. Kind of make it infinite Kitchen Finks in a really weird way. You can't combo off, but you can keep taking away that counter so you can keep blocking with it again, keep attacking with it. Also hates on the graveyard. Kitchen Finks, synergizes with Anafenza, gains some life. The new card, Spell Queller, seems super good in Modern. So in Modern, unlike Standard where people are playing 5-drops, 6-drops, 10 drops, 13 drops. Not many decks play cards like that. Pretty much everything in the format, or 90-something% of the cards in the format are 4 mana or less. And because it exiles, it can counter a Abrupt Decay, for example, and other uncounterable spells. So super powerful, plus it has an evasive body, so you can get in some damage in the air. And then Mantis Rider, just a super efficient beater, 3/3 Flying Haste for 3. When you get this on turn 2, you kind of just keep lava spiking your opponent's face every turn, plus with Vigilance, it's back to block 2 if you need it to. So you play these on turn 2, off of your Birds and Noble Hierarch. Then, on turn 3, you want to be slamming a Falconwrath Aristocrat or Siege Rhino. Again, just really powerful threats that dodge a lot of removal and can close out the game quickly. Falconwrath Aristocrat, only 1 toughness but 4 power, gets in hastily in the air, and you can sack a creature, like your Kitchen Finks maybe, good synergy there, to make it indestructible, so it doesn't die to Abrupt Decay, doesn't die to Lightning Bolt, doesn't die to Lightning Helix and Terminate. Siege Rhino also dodges removal because it's too big to die to Lightning Bolt or Lightning Helix, plus too expensive for Abrupt Decay, drains away your opponent's life, tramples in for a lot of damage, pretty hard to deal with. The deck also has some 2-drops that serve specific purposes. Voice of Resurgence fights against counter spell decks, anything that wants to be playing at instant speed. Kozali Pride Mage is a main deck artifact or enchantment removal spell, plus it gives you a little extra boost when attacking thanks to Exalted. And Tide Elder Scholar is kind of a Thoughtseize on a stick. And then the rest of the deck is just a bit of removal, a couple Abrupt Decays, and 4 Path to Exiles. Maybe the most confusing part of the deck is the mana base. So this deck plays a million 5-color lands, but most of them can't cast everything. So Ancient Ziggurat, untap, doesn't cause you damage when you tap it, but you can only spend the mana you produce with it on creatures. So it can't cast your Path to Exile, can't cast your Abrupt Decay, can cast everything else though. Pillar of the Perunes, kinda opposite. You get a mana of any color, doesn't do you any damage, etc., but you can only spend that mana on multicolored spells. So you can cast your Abrupt Decay, cast most of your creatures in your deck, but you can't cast Path to Exile, can't cast your Birds or Noble Hierarch on turn 1. Gemstone Mine, free, doesn't cost any life, comes into play on tap, but runs out of counters before too long. Mana Confluence does ping you for 1, but you can spend the mana on anything. And Reflecting Pool won't add any mana on turn 1 because you need another land, but once you have another 5-color land, you can use it to cast anything, and it doesn't cost you any life. You have a playset of Razorverge Thickets and a single forest, so watch out for Blood Moon, it wrecks you. In the sideboard, a couple Stony Silences for affinity, then a whole bunch of multicolored creatures. So this deck, instead of playing the more typical spells, Thought Seasons and so forth, is trying to get by playing similar spells that are attached to creatures, because if they're multicolor creatures, you can use your Ancient Ziggurat and your Pillar of the Pear runes to produce mana, when those cards wouldn't be able to cast something like Thoughtseize. So Tidehollow Sculler and Sin Collector are the Thoughtseizes of the sideboard. Then you have Fulminator Mage to destroy a land, an additional Spell Queller, and Izzet Staticaster to ping away some tokens or other small creatures, elves and birds of paradise and such. And then Gaddock Teeg and Sigarda, kind of powerful hate cards. Gaddock Teeg protects you from a Wrath, Cryptic Command. Sigarda saves you from Liliana, from an Emrakul Annihilate ability, plus it's just super hard to kill. And then one more Kitchen Finks for aggro decks. So that is a 5-color aggro in Modern, featuring everyone's favorite new spirit, Spell Queller. Anyway, that's been our Instant Deck Tech for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.